Good morning, Beyond the Benediction family. So, I posted a comment on our Facebook group about what do we really need? What are things in our lives that we could live without? So, today is what we're going to talk about on Transparency Thursday. I realize that there are a lot of things in our lives that clutter our lives. I've realized that for myself. And I've been working this week to kind of eliminate some things that I don't necessarily need. Whether it be financial or whether it's just time wise, and whether or not it is space wise, like mental space. But just realize that there's a lot of stress tied up into things that clutter our lives. So, some things that I have done. I have started meal-based shopping, which is I make a list of what I am going to have this week with the family. Each day has a meal already planned out, snacks, all that great stuff. And that is what I go shopping with. And I've actually saved a lot of money and a lot of time, because then it's like, oh, what do we have for dinner? I already know. I've already planned for it. Everything I need is there. It's been helping me out. I've also planned out time in my life to make sure that I focus on the things that are important. I get up in the morning, I pray, and that time is set aside for God and for my personal time. Then I go about my day with my children, and I make sure that they get their time, because a lot of time that I was accounting for was without this was my phone. I would be on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, because I'm a big YouTube connoisseur. Just those things were taking up a lot of my time and a lot of my mental space. And I wasn't living in a moment and being present. So it's like, can I do without this? Do I need my phone right now? No. Do I need certain things, like, for instance, financially? We don't need cable. I know a lot of you are probably like, who has cable anymore? But that's something that I realized. Me and my husband were talking about it today. Like, hey, we don't need cable. And I'm glad that we don't have cable. We haven't had cable since July of last year, actually. All we have is internet and Netflix. And I like Netflix because I know it's going to be there all the time. I don't feel compelled to watch it, which again frees up mental space. It helps me to live in the moment with the people that I'm around, and my family and my friends. I'm working on living a simpler life. I want to be surrounded by the things that I know that I need versus the things that I know that I want. And making sure that everybody around me and my family is happy and taken care of. Because worrying about if I got the latest shoes that came out or if I have the nicest clothes really doesn't matter in the long run. As long as I have clothes on my back and a roof over my head, who cares whose name is on it? Do I really need the Jordans, or I just want the Jordans? It's those type of situations. And there are people around us who realize that, hey, I don't really need this. There's a girl that I follow on YouTube who lived in a van. And I was telling my husband, I was like, I don't want to live in a van. No. But I thought it was cool to live that simplistic lifestyle. She had a roof over her head. She had clothes on her back. She could eat. And it didn't mean that she was poor. There was nothing wrong with her. It was a choice to break down to living a simple life. And it's this whole series for her. And it was such a rich experience to see how she could be happy with just the simplest things, when I'm over here stressing about something simple like cable, or something simple like my cell phone, or something like what type of pair of shoes to buy Isaiah, or it doesn't matter really, or what hottest toy came out, because Isaiah is big on toys right now. None of those things really matter. What matters is my family is taken care of, and that we love each other and we're spending time together. In doing that, I've had so much freedom, like making sure that after a certain time, my phone is far, far away from me. I don't touch it again until it wakes me up in the morning, and that ain't even the first thing I do. I turn off the alarm and then I go pray. So I'm up at 5:45, but I don't touch my phone till almost 7 o'clock. And it's done a lot for me. It's cleared a lot of mental space because I realized that being on social media, where is it a beautiful tool for a lot of great things, sometimes it can be a danger because it crowds your mind with what's going on with them or what they going over there. Oh snap, who did what? There's a lot of that going on and becomes so imperative, like the news. Oh my God. I don't watch the news at night anymore. I used to watch it every night and first thing in the morning. I was telling myself I was watching it for the weather, but it wasn't true. Not going to bed with a crowded mental space. I deal with insomnia by myself. I have my own thoughts that race through my own mind, so I don't need to know that little Johnny got shot or somebody broke into a string of cars today, weighing down on my mind and causing stress about safety right before I go to bed. So now the news, it doesn't matter, especially not before I go to bed. So I watch it in the morning, not the first thing I do in the morning. It happens later on. So at least, like I said, weather. I usually try to keep it to the weather and then I move on. There's so much going on in this world and a lot of other things that are going to crowd up your mental space that you really have to say, do I need to watch this? Do I need to have this coming into my life at this point? Because some things cause you stress and you don't even realize it. Not saying that I would never enjoy those things again, like watching Riverdale, which is my favorite television show. But it's also about me having some me time and being able to clear out and detach from those things. So with my question, what are some things in your life that you can do without, that will give you better mental clarity, that will give you better financial stability, and that will just make you overall happy? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a list and I'm going to post it in our Facebook group. And for those of you that are following us on YouTube, feel free to comment below a list of things that you know that you can live without. And let's try going without those things for 30 days. 30 days of mental clarity, better financial stability, only focusing on things that we need versus the things that we want. I'll tell you, for me, I have stopped eating meat. I'm not full-fledged vegan, even though I choose to buy vegan food, which not here nor there. I do still eat fish though. But I will tell you that in just the first 15 days of me not eating meat, I realized I didn't need it. It wasn't something I was dying to have. Even if I did have a craving, it wasn't so strong that I was like, oh my God, if I don't get this, it's going to kill me. I realized that it was more of a want than an actual necessity. As long as I'm eating my beans and getting all the nutrients and protein that I'm supposed to have, I really don't have to have meat. And fish is pretty daggone good. So that's just an example. I do charge you to make that list, even if you don't share it below or share it in the Facebook group. Just share it with yourself. Share it with your friends and family. Just somebody that'll hold you accountable. And for the next 30 days, let's go without things that we don't necessarily need. And let's just see how much better that makes our lives. Till next week, family. I love you guys. Peace.